Heyo! Alright, so this is week 4, Learning Target 2, second video for the week. So if you didn't see the first video for the notes, just exit out of this one, click on the video 1, okay? Because this is video 2. So I feel like with the last video, 1, I got cut off. So sorry about that. But 2, I didn't get my point across very well. So I just want to go back for a second. The question that is the wrong class, Christy. What are you doing? Where are our questions for health? They are right here. Alright, so the question that we are currently working on is question 5. What does the expression breaking the social norm mean? Okay, so breaking the social norm, if I go back to my slides, I'm on slide 8 here, there's an expression, breaking the social norm. This expression describes a person that for whatever reason doesn't follow the rules or a particular social norm. For that question, I'm just looking for this answer right here. A person that doesn't follow the norm or doesn't follow the rules, right? And then I don't want you to think of this as rules. What I want you to think about is going back to the picking of the nose, right? So a person who's like, I don't care, I'm going to pick my nose wherever I want. I'm going to pick it in class. I'm going to pick it in my car. I'm going to pick it in the grocery store. That is a person that is not... That's a person that's breaking the norm, right? They're breaking the societal and social norm because if they do that, they're going to get looked at and they're probably going to get a lot of faces like, oh, like they're grossing people out, right? They're not going to make friends that way. They are doing something that most people think is gross. Another example, farting in public, right? So not farting in public is a social norm. Typically we don't do it. Someone who's just like letting it out and they don't care who knows, breaking social norms. They are making some people uncomfortable. So breaking a norm is like doing a thing that most people are not going to do, right? Okay, cool. Want to make sure I covered that question. So, wrong class. Sorry, guys. Alright, got too many things up. Question 6. On slide 9, I ask you to think about a social norm that I, Christy, break every single day. I would like you to take a guess and attempt to answer this without looking ahead. My hint, think about my clothes, my hair, my shoes. All of those are hints. I'm going to give you like 10 seconds right now. Actually, I want you to give you 10 seconds. Pause this video right now and think about how I break social norms. Also, there's no insulting me in this question. Whatever you write down, I promise it's not going to insult me. Don't try to insult me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you can say what you really... I want you to really answer this question. Alright, pause. Do that now. Okay, so hopefully you paused. Hopefully you got question 6. You attempted question 6. Before I go into question 7, I want to backtrack a minute here. I'm going to do some backtracking. Okay, so why do we have norms? Why do they exist? Blah, blah, blah. Norms are used to provide order in society. So now we're talking a little bit beyond farts and boogers, right? Norms exist to typically, at least in some cases, to make people feel safe, right? So a good example of this is the little white crosswalk guy that comes up when you cross the street. The social norm is to wait for that crosswalk, right? What happens if you don't wait? Well, you're taking a risk, right? You could get hit by a car. So the social norm is to wait, right? If you're breaking that social norm and you're just gonna go, especially on a busy intersection like Columbia Boulevard, you're breaking a social norm that's supposed to be keeping you safe. You shouldn't really do that. You shouldn't be breaking norms that keep you safe. But then there are other social norms that aren't keeping us safe, and to be honest, are really kind of silly and not important. So I really want to, with this video, I want you guys to, inside your head, put the norms can go into two or even three boxes. You have the norms like the picking of the nose, where it's like it's not really like you pick your nose at a grocery store. You're gonna get people that look at you, and you might even get people to like say, "Hey, you're gross," but it's not like you're not gonna get in trouble. It's not gonna like end the world. Then you have norms that are there to keep you safe, and those norms you probably shouldn't break. I mean, those are important. And then there's these other set of norms that are just like kind of norms because they've just been norms for 200 years and people don't know how to like break outside of what's normal. So those three categories of norms, I want you to see them all differently, right? So again, like the boogers or the farting, it's not really gonna hurt anybody, but you're definitely gonna be seen as an oddball. And then there's norms that keep us safe that we probably should follow, right? And then there are norms that, well, we're going to talk a little bit about that third category. So why do people follow norms? Well, people want approval. They want to belong, and those who do not follow the norms will suffer disapproval, or they may be outcast from a group. So typically people follow norms, especially kids your age, because they want to feel like they belong in a group. If a kid starts farting in class and you're just like letting them rip, that kid might not have friends. I know that our school is a very accepting place, and you guys, I feel like, still would befriend that person. But right, it's not how that works. Like, so if you start breaking a bunch of social norms from the gate, people might not understand you, and people might label you as weird, which I don't agree with necessarily. But anyway, let's keep going here. I've already kind of talked about that. Alright, we talked about that. Cool. So I'm going down now to slide number 10, I think. Let me see. Slide number 10? Yeah. So I asked you guys to think about me and how I break social norms, right? I break a ton of social norms, to be honest. And most of them all deal with gender, right? First of all, gender. We're not talking about sex. We're not talking about male, female. We're talking about how, like, kind of how I look, right? I don't look. I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. I don't not identify as a woman, but I don't look like a typical woman, right? So that in and of itself is breaking a social norm. So what do I have on this slide? Let's see. In the United States, as well as most countries, men wear one type of clothes and women wear a different type of clothes. I break social norm because I wear men's clothes. I also wear men's shoes. I have a man's haircut. I go to a barber, which typically only cuts men's hair. These are all ways that I, Christy, break social norms. So if you wrote down Christy is always in men's clothes, that would have been correct. If you write down that I look like a dude, that would have been correct, right? Anything about gender, really. I'm also curious if you guys come up with anything else. I feel like I break norms in a lot of ways. Okay, let me just go back to our question. We did 6. No, we haven't gotten to 7 yet. So question 7. If someone breaks one social norm, does this mean they tend to break all social norms? No, not at all. No, the answer to this is no. If I break a social norm because of my gender, that doesn't mean that I break a social norm about my race. I don't know. I mean, that's a weird example, but I'm just saying, just because you break one thing doesn't mean you're breaking all of them. Question 8. Pick one of the social norms mentioned in the slides and describe it. Shouldn't be in. Describe it in 1 or 2 sentences. No, actually, I was right. Describe in 1 or 2 sentences how that social norm can negatively affect a teen's health. So here's the deal. I'm going to run through a bunch of social norms right now. I'm going to come back and read the rest of my questions. I'm not giving you the answers. I kind of gave you the answers for the first half of the assignment. You guys are coming up with the answers for the rest. I want to go back and read my slides real quick. Alright, so here we go. Already talked about that. Oh yeah, this was my example. So just because I, Christy, break this social norm doesn't mean that I break all social norms. I may wear men's clothes, but I do say bless you if someone sneezes. This is another social norm, right? So maybe I break one, but I don't break the other. Also, I wash my hands when I go to the bathroom. That's a great social norm. That's a social norm that if you don't do, I judge you, especially under the circumstances right now. So again, just because you break one doesn't mean you break them all. Alright, so here are some examples. I don't think I'm going to go through all of these. I think I'm going to go through some. Shaking hands when you meet someone, social norm. Making direct eye contact with a person you're speaking with. This is very much a Western social norm. It is not like this everywhere. I want to make that clear. Also, different societies, different cultural groups have different norms. Not standing so close to a stranger that you can touch them. That's a good social norm. Not cursing in like a church or in a group where you're like surrounded by elders. It's not one you want to break. Again, not picking your nose in public. Being kind to older people, being kind to your elders. Not saying you're sorry if you bump into someone. Here are more gender social norms, so girls wearing pink and boys wearing blue. This idea that a baby has to wear pink if the baby's a girl, and the baby has to wear blue if it's a boy. Men should be strong and not show emotion. Right? Again, this is very, very dependent on culture. Women should be caring and nurturing and good moms, or a mom, period. Men should do repairs on the house or fix things and be the one to work and make money. Women are expected to take care of kids and do all the chores in the house. Women should be cooking and cleaning, right? A man should pay for a woman's meal if they go on a date. All of these things. These norms exist because it's how we've done things for 200 years in this country. They don't exist because it's right or wrong. Right, these are examples of that third category of social norms where they just are the way they are. It's because it's what we're, as society, is what we're used to. It's not because they're necessarily right. And this is what I want you to think about this unit. The things that are the norms that are there to protect us versus the norms that are there to, like, I know, it's just because that's the way it's been. It's the way that our parents were raised, and their parents were raised, and their parents were raised. School norms. Not using a cell phone during class. Asking the teacher if you need to use the bathroom. Not listening to headphones while the teacher is teaching. Arriving to class on time. All the things that we ask of you. Okay. So, I'm going to go back to my questions here, starting with question 8. Pick one of the social norms mentioned in any of the slides and describe in 1 or 2 sentences how that norm can negatively affect a teen's health. That is a good question, and I want to know what you think about that one, right? And yes, it should be one of the ones mentioned in the slides. So think about mental health, think about emotional health, think about physical health. Okay, question 9. So for question 9 and 10, and actually all of them following, so for every question following, you need to read all of my slides. So I'm going to stop this video here. My last video for this unit will be me going over the remainder of the slides, and then reading off the questions to you, and then that'll be it for the unit. Peace. Come watch video 3 in a couple seconds. I'll see you soon.